Join your right hands and declare your consent before God and His church. I, Philip Anthony Rickert, take you, Brittany Mary Mulvany, to be my wife. I promise to be true to you, in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health. I will love you and honor you all the days of my life. Now, Brittany, I, Brittany Mary Mulvany, take you, Philip Anthony Rickert, to be my husband. I promise to be true to you, in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health. I will love you and honor you all the days of my life. You have declared your consent before the church. May the Lord in His goodness strengthen your consent and fill you both with His blessings. What God has joined, men must not divide. Lord, bless these rings which we bless in your name. Grant that Brittany and Philip, who wear them, may always have a deep faith in each other. May they do your will and always live together in peace, goodwill, and love. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Brittany, take this ring as a sign of my love and fidelity. Philip, take this ring as a sign of my love and fidelity. You may not have heard Brittany, I heard it. She said it, she promised. Go in peace to glorify God with your lives. And my good friends, Brittany and Philip Rickert.
Love you guys so much, and we're so excited this finally happened.
We're having an awesome time. You guys look amazing.
I wish the two of you the absolute best in the future. I appreciate you more than anything in the world.
Happiness that you have today lasts you forever. This is the cutest couple. Brittany, you're beautiful. Love you guys.
Oh, there's a night in the all things are silent. I'm gonna whistle a tune. Oh, there's a desert inside.
Looking forward to watching your relationship grow over the next 20, 30, 50 years, and best wishes for you going forward.
The world calls for the girl, heading out into the unknown. With fear and strangers and all kinds of danger. Please don't say I'm going alone. To the ends of the earth, would you follow me? There's a world that was meant for us to see. To the ends of the earth, would you follow me? If the world ever saw how you lost me. For you, baby, doesn't mean I'm ready to stay. What good is living the life you've been given if all you do is stand in the way?
I'm going to call the best man, Mr. Brian Anderson, to say a few words.
Oh, there's a mic. You guys hear me? Oh no! Obviously you can if you say. For those that don't know me, my name is Brian. I've known Phil since about 5th grade. I became best friends with him in middle school. I don't have a biological brother, but I can imagine a deeper bond than I have with this man to my right. Before I get started, I do want to recognize two groups of very special people today. Phil and Brittany's parents for bringing and raising such wonderful children into the world, as well as for all they've done for putting on today. And also the bridesmaids, the very beautiful bridesmaids. Brittany is very blessed to have all of you in her life as friends. No. So when Phil asked me to be his best man, he gave me 3 rules. He said, Brian, I want you to be my best man, but you cannot tell these 3 stories. He said, you cannot tell that story about when I reversed out of my garage with the door open, breaking the door off the hinges. He said, you cannot tell that story about how I got rushed to the hospital in an ambulance after hitting a parked car with his bike. And you can't tell that story about when I accidentally hit myself in the head with a beer bottle. So, Phil, don't worry, I'm not going to share any of those stories today. It gets worse. So we're all here today to celebrate the journey that Phil and Brittany are about to embark on. But I think few realize how long this journey has actually been in the making. When you ask Phil and Brittany when they first started dating, they'll tell you 6 years ago. In reality, this started in high school. So Phil's had his eye on her ever since high school. It's very true. You know, whenever he was around her, his face would light up, his posture would strain a little bit, and he'd try to work the most suave courting tactics in high school that you could ever work. And you can actually say this in reality, that it literally never worked. Until now. But you know, it may have been a little bit of an act of God in that, right? Instead of allowing this couple to share young love, he gave them the opportunity to experience today an everlasting love. I stand here gracious for the opportunity to have met Brittany as more than just that hot girl at the party that Phil would point out. She recognized my weakness quite early on. She fed me baked goods every day. But our relationship moved well beyond just the sugar addiction I have. When you first meet her, the first words you'll explain for her is kind and compassionate. But actually, once you get to know her, there's actually this essence of determination and fortitude. You know, a really unique ability where she spends every day of her job working with people at the end of their lives and still comes home every day smiling. I'm confident that obvious compassion combined with that inner strength will see Phil through in his moments of need. and hopefully, I don't know if it'll work for all the MSU losses, but hopefully a couple of them will get through as well. I've had the privilege to call Phil my friend for 20 years now, maybe a little bit more. He's one of the most passionate people I've ever met. He's adventurous, a dreamer, a man of conviction. But most importantly, he's loyal, he's devoted, and he's caring to those he loves. Rest assured, Brittany, you're in good hands. So I'd like everyone to please join me and raise their glass and toast to Phil and Brittany. I wish you the best in your lives moving forward, and thank you for this very special day.
All right, a big round of applause for the best man, Mr. Brian Anderson. Next up, the matron of honor, Mrs. Stephanie Weeks.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie, and technically I've known Brittany since middle school through the oh-so-competitive world of Catholic Youth League basketball. But those years don't really count because honestly, we really didn't like each other much back then. I thought I was a bit of a bully. Plus, let's be real, my team beat her team every single time, and I probably wouldn't like me either. And I personally thought she was kind of a spaz, which I don't know if I ever told you that, but now you know. But once we joined up at Catholic Central, we became fast friends, and since then, we've been everything from teammates to roommates, and through it all, we've developed an amazing friendship. Oh God. I usually don't get this emotional, but as you can see, I'm a bit pregnant. Spare me. We've had some pretty crazy adventures together, and I can't imagine going through the last 15 years without her. Though, side note, Britt, to this day, I still have a really hard time walking into a 7-Eleven, and I'm going to spare everyone this story, but to simplify, I never realized that Brittany was as bad of a driver, as Brittany, it turns out. What I admire most about Brittany is that she's always known exactly what she wants in life. I think it's really rare that a person is not only as self-aware as she is, but also as determined. For as long as I can remember, this girl knew she wanted to graduate from Michigan State and knew she wanted to become a nurse. And I'm so proud to say that I saw firsthand how hard she worked to accomplish both things. Speaking of a girl who knows what she wants, it's no surprise that it took all of a one-chance meeting up with Phil 6 years ago for her to know that he was the guy for her, although it sounds like Phil knew before then. We were a few years out of college and home in town for the holidays when we happened to run into Phil at the Rib one night. And even though we'd all known each other for a while, something must have just clicked because the next day Brittany calls me up and very matter of fact just said, okay, so I think I want to date Phil now. All right, and they start dating. And now here we are, just 6 short years later. Phil, I can't imagine a more perfect match for Brittany, and I'm beyond happy for you guys. And I don't think I need to tell you how lucky you are to have Brittany as a wife. She is one of the most kind and generous people I've ever known. And not only that, she's an awesome dancer and has the best stash of junk food I've ever seen in any girl. So I think that makes her an amazing wife in my opinion. It's obvious that not only are you an amazing couple, but the best of friends. And I hope you never lose that because that's an amazing gift. So on that note, let's cheers to the new bride and groom. May the happiness and joy and love you feel today last you a lifetime. Cheers.
A big round of applause for Mrs. Stephanie Weeks. And now the father of the bride, Mr. Eric Mulvany, will be giving a toast and a blessing for dinner. Big round of applause for him.
So thanks everyone for being here today. My son Christian, I guess it was a few months ago, I retired from MSU, and he said, "Dad, when you do your speech, please don't read off of a piece of paper." And I said, "Okay, so what would you like me to do?" And he said, "Just talk from your heart." And I said, "Okay." And so I did that. I'm not sure how it went. It probably was a disaster. And somebody said that they taped it, and I've still not seen it, and that's probably a good thing. So I'm going to speak from the heart. I'm not sure where this is going to go. I didn't have anything really planned. But to start, on behalf of Mary and I, and Tina and Craig, and Dwight and Jenny, I want to extend our warmest thank you to all of you for helping us enjoy this very, very special day. Clearly this is a big moment for the two of them, but for all of us as well, because we get to help them celebrate the perfect sacrament, if you will. They are celebrating marriage, and for this I am very, very grateful. I also, last night we were at a rehearsal dinner, and Craig mentioned that we also want to thank those that have gone before us, and we have some who have gone before us, and they have been instrumental in all of our lives as well as these two, and so for them as well, I would like to thank them for their part in making this a very successful moment. I also want to thank retired Bishop Murray, who said the Mass today. Those of you who were at the church today, you saw a beautiful celebration of the Mass. Bishop Murray, we knew him when he was Father Murray, and Brittany happened to be the first female altar server at the cathedral, and somebody said to me, I didn't even know bishops would do marriages, and I really, quite honestly, didn't know that they did either. But we asked, and he said, "Sure, yeah, I'd be glad to do it." So I want to thank him. He's not here tonight, but he did a great job, I think, and so for him, I'm very thankful. So I was thinking about what I wanted to say, and I want to be at least brief, but I do want to tell one story. And the funny thing about the driving thing is that the one story I wasn't going to tell, but I will tell now, is Brittany really is an excellent driver. One day I got a call, and she had driven over the telephone pole in our front yard, and she immediately blamed it on our dog. And I'm not really sure how that worked, but she said that the dog distracted her, and somehow she ran into a telephone pole, knocked it completely over, and didn't do any damage to the car. But I don't know about Philip's escapades. I'm sure I'm going to find out some more about that. What I wanted to say to you about Brittany, and I know obviously much more about her than I do about Philip, and I plan to learn a lot more about him as we go along on this journey, but Brittany and I think I've always had a spot where I've always let Brittany get to a point in her life where she had to grow up quicker than she really needed to. I'll give you an example of that. When she was very young, maybe 1-2 years old, she had a blanket, a blankie, and I couldn't stand this blankie. It was always ratty and torn and dirty, and you know, I won't tell you what, you know, about the other stories about the blankie, but anyway, little by little, we would wash this thing and it would get a little smaller, and it would get smaller because gradually I would start to cut this thing apart. And so little by little, I would cut this blankie, and pretty soon it was down to a very small square. And Brittany, you know, she never said a word about, well, why is my blanket getting so small? But, you know, she lived with it, and I think I really was trying to get her to grow up a little faster than what she really needed to. But that blanket was her security for those very brief moments in her life when I didn't cut it up to shreds. And so, but at that point, she trusted me. And the trust that she had in me was, you're going to be that blanket for me. And I really, this continued on, and I'll give you another example. She and my son went to one of the Catholic schools here in the area, and that school was starting to slowly erode, and they were getting ready to close. And I felt like it was in our best interest to move the kids. And Brittany was getting ready to go into 8th grade, so she was getting ready to finish her last year at junior high. And I said, Brittany, we'd really like to move you. And you know, I don't really remember her saying to me, that's really not a good plan, Dad. I think I remember her saying, if that's what you think is best, then that's what I'll do. And she did it. She graduated from a school that, that was not her home school for her first 7.5 or 7 or 8 years of school. And she did it because I believe that she trusted. And again, as I think back about life with Brittany, it was always about her growing up a little faster than maybe she wanted to, and it was more about me, I think, thinking that I should get her to grow up. You can see today, she doesn't need any help growing up. Today, I stand before you a very, very proud father, because in the time that I've spent with her, I've realized that today she doesn't need a blanket. She doesn't need really me any longer. She has Philip to take that spot in her life and that security. I'll always hope that I will still be a little bit of a blanket to her, that I'll always be a little bit of security to her, and that I'll always be there for her. But she is an amazing, amazing person. Those of you that know and you've heard some of the speaking about her, you know just how fantastic she is. She goes to work every day, that's right, with people that are on their last pieces of their life. And she comes home and she smiles about it every day. I think she does that because she really is a mature adult. And I am very, very proud of her. Philip, on the other hand, so, no, honestly, I have known Philip for some time, and I kept wondering, is Philip ever going to pop the question? And I think a lot of us felt that same way, and I really wasn't really ever sure. And I think there was a point where I just thought, okay, well, if it doesn't happen, maybe this will just be, this is what it will be for the rest of their lives. And it was, I know I'm going on too long, right? I said I was going to be short. But it was a Christmas ago, and I said, Philip came by, and I couldn't really quite figure out why he came by himself, but he did. And we ate dinner, and then he started acting funny, and I thought, what's wrong with him? And then he said, I'm going to ask Brittany to marry me. And I said, I can't think, and I'm sure this is what I said. I said, I can't think of anybody else that I've ever met that I would be more proud to have be the spouse for my daughter. And I firmly believe that. And Philip, I really do thank you for so the long and the short of this is, and now it's going to be the short part, this is a great day. I feel so blessed to be able to stand here in front of you today to be able to announce that today this is Mr. and Mrs. Philip Rickert. a toast. For the times that are the good times and those that are the bad times, that your love will always be the point in your life that keeps you strong, that keeps you together. I pray that the two of you will always find that there is love in your hearts, because I know that there is today, and I hope that you'll find that that's true today as it will be today, tomorrow, and the next day. God bless you.
It's been a long day, baby. Things ain't been going my way, you know I need you here. You clear my mind all the time. And baby, the way you move me, it's crazy. It's like you see right through me and make it easier. To please me, you don't even have to try. Oh, because you are the best thing. You are the best thing. You are the best thing ever happened to me. Baby, you've come a long way.
Bill and Brittany are two of the best people that I know.
We are really, really happy to be here, and we love you guys very, very much.
Congratulations to the both of you. I'm so happy. We're going to go cut this dance floor up in a second. And it's for the both of you, okay?
You are the best thing. You are the best thing. You are the best thing ever happened to me. Both of us have known love before. Come on, no promising like the spring to walk on out the door. Our hearts are strong and our hearts are kind. Let me tell you, just exactly